कृष्णभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वंशकल्पातरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो ॐ विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Welcome for today morning's Bhagavatam class. So the theme is time. We'll understand what time is, how it is the ultimate destroyer. Then having this knowledge, how we can make what the Guru Parampara, Sadhu Shastras, how to make proper utilization of time. Time is going to destroy everything. So something which has such destructive powers, how you could put it to constructive use. And then finally, a practical tool. Nowadays, you see there are so many apps, an app to do this, an app to do that. So something like an app, which all of us can, it's very simple to use, can put in our day-to-day life, which will help us come closer to Krishna, making proper use of time. Hare Krishna. So, what is time? Before we understand time as the ultimate destroyer, we need to have a proper understanding of time. Now, there's the material, the science, physics of time, what time is. Actually, even physicists and scientists don't really know, and they admit they really don't know what time is, what causes time, and things like that. However, they have some idea of time. And then, of course, the spirituality of time. What do the Shastras say about time? And then we'll contrast both of these to see what is the difference and what the similarity is between the material and the spiritual understanding of time. So, material definition is it is a continued sequence of existence and events, correct? That occurs in irreversible succession. This is what the material. Actually, science says that there are certain fundamental, fundamental, fundamental particles which can even go back in time. Now, we know there is nothing which can go back in time. That's the general understanding. But the math is such that even, say, something like an electron can be in two places at the same time. It could be in the past, it could also be in the present. So, anyway, but for general understanding, irreversible, meaning to say time is going in one direction. It is linear, past, present, and the future. What do the Shastras say? Bhagavad Gita, Bhagwan Vacha, Kalosmi Loka Kshaya Krit Pravatro. You know this shloka. Time I am, Krishna says, time I am the greatest destroyer of the world. So when people are asking what is time, where it comes from, still trying to figure out trial and error, pratyaksha praman, anuman praman, different ways scientists are trying to find out what is time. Open Bhagavad Gita, it'll tell you all about time, the source of time. Okay, Krishna, he says, time I am the greatest destroyer of the worlds. Hare Krishna. Then here it says time is relative, the theory of relativity. Uh, Albert Einstein had put forward this. It's one of the fundamental laws of physics. Time is relative, meaning to say that, especially, for um, as you grow older, time seems to go so much faster. Actually, 24 hours is 24 hours. It's neither going fast nor slow. It's like light, speed of light. Speed of light is constant. It's constant anywhere in existence. So, similarly, time is constant, but our perception of time changes. That's why time is relative, how we experience time. The older you are, we experience time to go much faster. Like recently, I was talking to our dear friend Bhakti Ratnakar Prabhu. We were doing seva duty outside of the cars and all because the Rath is coming, requesting devotees to park on the street side. So he was saying, Prabhuji, there was this 4th of July weekend, and when it got over, we don't know. 4 days have passed, correct? 4th, 5th, 6th, and we are on 7th, Jagannath Rath Yatra Day. He says it has just gone by so fast. You really don't know where it started, where it ended, when it ended. So that way, time is relative. Whereas for youngsters, time doesn't seem to move at all. It's just like stuck. And nothing to do. We're getting so bored. And of course, there's a reason behind it why you get time is moving so fast for older people, and why it is so. It is one simple explanation. What psychologists say is that time, as you grow older, there are less and less things for you to experience. You've already experienced that. Whereas for so you don't put much attention on whatever is happening around you. It's already there. Whereas for a young person, they get caught up in whatever is there, they're surrounding, they're absorbing all the information. So it seems to stand still, time. Whereas for old people, it just whizzes by. Correct. So here is another important lesson that we can get from this, that Krishna consciousness is new always because it's eternal, and his glory, his energies, everything about Krishna is always expanding. So it's always new, it's always fresh. So getting absorbed in Krishna consciousness, it is going to be it's almost timeless. Time stops still. There is so much to learn, there is so much to experience. So, material says time is relative. And here we can see, even in spiritual, it explains how time is relative. Like 100 years. 100 years is a unit of time. So, in our 100 years, it is 24 hours into 7 into 24 hours into 365 into 100 is those many years, correct? Here, 100 years of Brahma is equivalent to 311 trillion 40 billion human years. That's the scale. Now, there are also what you call the Indragopan. There's a tiny insect, and there are so many species which literally in one human day, 24 hours, is their entire 100 years. So we are Brahma to those uh, insects. So time is relative. Time ceases to exist in a black hole. Black hole is a place, a phenomena in the universe wherein it is so dense, matter and space collapses because of gravity into a point of what they call the singularity, and not even light can escape from that. And time seems to exist. It appears that it ceases to exist, meaning to say, if you see this entire universe, what the physicists say as the time space. Wherever there is time, there is space, and vice versa. Right? So there, it just seems to collapse, and therefore it's not there. However, spiritual world talks about time has absolutely no effect. In the material world, time is the greatest destroyer. In the spiritual world, it has absolutely no effect. Hare Krishna. Time is a fundamental quantity. And here it says, time is the churning rod of material creation. So if we go to Bhagavatam, it describes how the material world comes into existence. Of course, now scientists are saying there are fundamental particles. They've been trying to figure out how the Big Bang happened. Universe started because of a Big Bang. But then what caused the Big Bang? So here it says that, time is the churning rod. So there was the Mahat, then the time came and it kind of uh, stirred everything up. Hare Krishna. So this is an overview of what the material science and spiritual sciences talk about um, time, then we know the source of everything is Krishna, Govinda Madhipurusham, right? The first of chapter 5, Brahma Samhita, Ishwar Parama Krishna, Sarva Karana Karanam. So Govinda is the cause of all causes. And then also we learn going a little bit further that everything there is Krishna and Krishna. So time is a material energy. There are three energies of Krishna: the internal energy, the marginal energy, which we all are part of, the Jiva Tattva, and then finally the material energy. So time comes under the category of the material energy. Now, note this that matter changes. That's one of the characteristics of material. Asat, it is not permanent. And time measures that change. Time is a measure of change, and that purpose, like Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, is to destroy everything. When Krishna says destroyer of the worlds, what it is the spiritual world. That is the context. That's why it is so important to have a spiritual master, teacher. Radha Govind Maharaj has said, scriptures are not just text, scriptures are context. So, how to understand the context? If you just read it, Krishna, time I am the destroyer of world. Oh, Krishna says he's the destroyer of world. So even spiritual world, Golok, everything gets destroyed. No, you need to have a spiritual master who has seen the truth. He has realized the truth, experienced the truth, and he and she would then put it into proper perspective. And then we can see that, yeah, time is a destroyer of everything that is material. And that's why matter is not permanent. Hare Krishna. So, how do you make use of time? You know, so here, life teaches us to make a very nice proverb: make good use of time, while time teaches us the value of life. Don't waste a single moment. Like it's precious, they say, right? No matter of wealth or anything will bring the moment back. So there is that value of life. Our lifespan is only so much, and time is moving ahead. So making the most of it. So Arjunanand Prabhu, a few weeks back in Bhakti Vriksha Sangha, had discussed this very topic, time management, how to make proper use of time. And he used this little pictorial. There are things that we do. Everyone is doing something. No one is idle. Even the idle person is doing something. His mind is working, he's breathing, his organs are working. Yeah. So whatever tasks that we do, Hare Krishna, there is in these four quadrants. So if you see, the top is urgent, not urgent, and then you have the important and not important tasks. So here it says how you categorize. So you need to understand that whatever we are doing, you know, can fall into one of these four quadrants. Hare Krishna. So there's urgent and important. Do it immediately, whatever is urgent and important. Don't put it for later. Example of this is whatever sadhana that we are doing: japa, reading books, uh, honoring prasadam. So these things are very critical for our success. What is our success? Removing the anarthas and serving Krishna, Krishna's devotees, going back to Godhead. So that is, do it immediately, urgent and important. Not urgent, but important. Long-term success, it is necessary, but not immediate. You don't have to do it right now. Okay. So one of the examples is we have six loving relationships with Vaishnavas, exchanging gifts, receiving gifts, sharing your heart, revealing your heart. We have these six loving exchanges with the Vaishnav. Very, very important. It is necessary to have close Vaishnav association, but it is not urgent in the sense that, oh, I don't have to do it right now, drop everything and do that. Necessary, okay, but not urgency. We are talking in perspective of time, Hare Krishna. Actually, in one sense, there is an urgency because I do not know how much time I have left. But all the same, when we're seeing everything, so many other tasks are there. When we categorize these into these different urgent, not important, not urgent, not important things like this, then we are able to better make use of that 24 hours that we have in a day. Hare Krishna. So urgent and not important, it needs to get done right away, but your long-term goal, it doesn't make a big difference. Yeah, it has some minuscule difference, but it really won't matter much. So, for example, you're cooking, in the DT kitchen, and when you were pouring the dal into the bucket, it spilled over, so to say. Or on the counter, you were making something and it spilled over on the counter. Now, you need to clean it. Yeah, it is necessary to clean it. You have to clean. But suppose, let's say, if somebody cuts his hand while chopping the vegetable, that needs to be attended immediately. Whatever it is, put a band-aid, wear a glove, and continue your seva. Whatever you're doing, that is urgent and important also. You can come back to the cooking spill and clean it up over here. So this is how we make our uh, proper utilization of the time. And then finally, and most important, and all of us are guilty, and I know I am, is not urgent, not important, but still we spend time on it. This is things which we think that, oh, I need a break. I need a break even from my Hare Krishna, in the sense that, oh, my mind is, how much I'm doing anyway. And now I need some time, some downtime I need. And then we'll get engaged in whatever social media, WhatsApp, this, that, any other distraction, Netflix, etc. So these are tasks, which can be completely eliminated and it won't make a difference. In fact, it will only give a positive contribution to whatever we're trying to achieve. So here the Goswamis have said, right, Rupa Goswami, whatever there is unfavorable, reject. Whatever is favorable, accept. So whatever are these tasks, and we know whatever tasks are favorable, unfavorable, okay, those could be completely avoided. Hare Krishna. Now that we have this knowledge, how do you go about putting it into practice? Otherwise, what is the use? It's just information which is cluttering this mind over here. The idea is not to become a vidwan. The idea is to become a devotee. Hare Krishna. So, what is a devotee? He takes all the information that he or she receives and puts it into practice for the pleasure of Guru and Krishna. So, devotion is something which is realized knowledge. Knowledge put into practice is bhakti. Hare Krishna. So here's something which I have used and everyone can do. It's very simple. All of you are familiar with Excel. Open an Excel spreadsheet and make this time, and there may be different for different devotees, it doesn't matter. But what I said, there some time ago, I used to visit the gym, and they had a very nice slogan on top, couple of them: inspired to perspire, and whatever gets measured gets improved. Now, all of us have some idea of how we spend our 24 hours, some idea. But when you get specific, then you actually know how you're spending your time. So make an inventory of what your daily and monthly. Now, there may be some tasks which you're not doing every month. You may be doing it just um, uh, weekly, for example, like we visit the temple Sunday program. So that's a weekly. You're not visiting every day, of course, unless you're Jai Prakash Prabhu. Every morning, rain, snow, COVID, no COVID, he's there in the temple, Mangalarati. But for most of us, you come on Sunday for the program. So there is that activity which is not done daily, but it is done at a periodic frequency. Once you make this, you come to know that total time is 24 hours. Okay. So here in this case, it is 8 hours, one third. Remaining two-third is for everything else: sleeping, toiletry, bathing, eating, whatever, all those other tasks which are there. So if you see over here, there is 67%. Most of the time is going in other tasks. And if we see Prabhu's Mataji's, that if Krishna consciousness is really, really, really important to us, then we make an effort as to this 67%. What are the not important, not urgent tasks where I would be able to get rid of it and instead do something which will take me closer to Krishna. We need to be honest with ourselves. This is not something that, it has to be shared with everyone. Of course, if you have a buddy, if you have a mentor, some Vaishnav whom you can share your heart with, then you can ask him or her, Mataji, Prabhuji, this is what I'm doing and how you think I should be able to manage uh, my time better. They would be able to give proper guidance. So, dear devotees, this is about today's verse. All of us are trying to be happy and we are making arrangements. All we are doing is literally jumping out of the frying pan into the fire. And whatever efforts that we're doing, which is not centered around Krishna, is simply trying to make that fire more bearable. That's all that it doesn't matter. You will get burned. You will get burned. That's the nature of things. So this is what time is, how we can make proper use of time, and then how we can actually make an inventory and get better at making proper use of our time. Hare Krishna. So we have 4 minutes more. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Anyone has a question or a comment? We can address it now. Hari Bol. Okay. No one has a question. Madhupati Prabhu, over to you.
Thank you, Amritan Prabhu.
Hare. Uh,
Hare Krishna. I would like to wish everybody a safe and Krishna conscious day and week ahead. I would like to offer our prayers to the Supreme Lord by chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Shri Nrsinga, Jai Nrsinga, Jai Jai Nrsinga, Praladesha, Jaya Padma, Maka Padma Dhankam. Ugraveeram Mahavishnu Jwalantam Sarvatomukam Nrsingam Deshanam Bhadram Nityamitrim Navamiham. Nrsinga Bhagwan ki Jai, Prahlad Maharaj ki Jai. Let's offer our humble obeisances to all the assembled Vaishnavas. One Chakripa Sindhu Bhaya Vacha Patipanam
Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo
Vaishnavebhyo Namaha Vaishnavinda ki Jai. Raj Srimad Bhagavatam ki Srimad
Jai.
Prabhupada ki Jai.
Jai.
Gaur Premanande Hari Hari.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you, Hare Krishna. Krishna.